Hello everyone, Johnny Minder here. And today we are continuing to learn Japanese with Pokémon Snap. Last time we did the camera check and Professor Ox check for the replay of the third course, because we did that the previous time. After that, Professor Ox gave us another item, the Poké Flute. And last but not least, we finally checked the Pokemon album. I guess so. Today we'll continue replaying stages to get the remaining Pokemon signs. Also more Pokemon if we can find them. Also with the new item, of course. But first and foremost, we'll check more of the gallery on the title screen, since luckily we properly saved without a save state. Yeah, so we can... we'll start at the title screen, and yeah, without further ado, let's do so. And yeah, here we are, and we choose the gallery. Okay. And yeah, we have seen the what it says on the bottom. Of course, the bottom, middle, right, the usual dialogue. And yeah, we only had checked that part, of course, from gallery at the top, Ghyarari, and also the button to save, again, record, technically, but yeah, in the context of gamers, of course, also saving. Yeah, so we can actually start with this option today, Pokemon Repoto, so again the Pokemon report, and yeah, we have the this description for this option. Pokemon Repoto Kara Erabu. And yeah, first and foremost we have the usual Pokemon Repoto. As a reminder, as usual, Repoto is accented on the po, just like in English, but of course for the word when we pronounce it as report, because of course Japanese doesn't change accent for English words usually, in the sense in this case that they got one accent from English and then kept that, regardless if it's a verb or a noun. And yeah, then we have the particle kara, from, and then the verb erabu, accented should be, to choose, to select, to pick. And yeah, after that, we have... okay, we should be fine. After that, we have the question mark. So yeah, in this case, it's a question without the usual interrogative particle ka. And yeah, it can be done even though a proper question in Japanese should have the interrogative particle, and technically it doesn't require the question mark, which comes from English, but nowadays is also used, also in a case like this one, to distinguish it from an affirmative declarative sentence, of course, with the final sentence interrogative particle ka. Technically the question mark isn't required, but yeah, here just to show the intonation, of course. And so erabu, so high at the end because of the question, but also, of course, the usual accents, the usual pitch accents for words. After that, we have shashin wa gojugo mai totta yo. And yeah, so shashin as usual, the Chinese compound, and so luckily also unaccented as usual, which means photo, picture. Then we have the topic particle wa written as ha. Then we have goju go mai, a numeral plus counter combination. First we have the number, of course. Well, the counter is the usual mai, which is a thin flat objects, sheets of paper, and so also photos. I've seen it multiple times in this game, of course, considering that. It's of Chinese origin, so also the numbers are of Chinese origin. And also because in this case we don't have Japanese numerals don't go that height anyway. They go up to 10. But yeah, we have gojugo, again, ju, 10, on its own accented on ju, accented, so on ju, on the first syllable. On the first mora technically also, because then as usual, as a reminder, the accent can stay on longer vowels, on the long vowels, doubling of consonants on its own, and yeah. So in this case, ju, u, so actually long ju, and yeah, so not on the long vowel, but on the first ju. But yeah, before and after it we have go, because the first one is to make 5 tens, and so 50, and then the other one 5, so plus 5, and yeah, 55. I think we have seen last time that mai usually the accent is on the syllable before mai, except for 5. So in this case, let's say, since it ends with go, it should be unaccented. Goju, go mai. Unfortunately, on the dictionary it says up to 10. But yeah, most pretty sure that we have to keep in mind the accent of the final number, and so 5 in this case. I'll quickly check just to be sure. Okay, got both physical dictionaries just to be, in case we need them. First, this one, of course, for the numeral plus counter combination, just to be completely sure. Well, apart, of course, from what I mentioned about higher numbers, but yeah. It should be like that. Okay, let me find it quickly. Yeah, here we are. And yeah, mai accented usually before the mai itself, except for go, unaccented. Yeah, so my guess would be unaccented in this case. Last but not least, we have the verb totta, again from Toru, to take in general, but with a specific kanji, to take pictures, and yeah, of course, that's the one we would use here. It's a verb, code verb, so we can change the, to make that a form, we have to follow the rules. It's in ru, so it becomes double consonant ta, again, continuative form, so to, ri, ta. Then the E fell, tor, ta, difficult to pronounce, and so became double consonant ta instead. Last but not least, we have the final sentence particle yo, and so, you know, hey, and yeah, so, as for photos, you took 55 of them, you know. And yeah, last but not least, it says Besto shotto wa buba da ne. Of course, first and foremost, we have besto shotto, and so best shot from English. We quickly check the accent. Shotto, I think we have seen before and was accented as expected, luckily. Also for best, I can confirm. Besuto, accent on the first syllable. But we quickly check also shotto. It's accented on the first syllable. Shotto. Between the two, as you might consider it a single word, in this case a compound technically, most likely it would keep the accent of the second word, so besuto shotto. So the first one low, because we have the rule first mora, first no, in this case actually mora low if the second one is high, and the other way around, so high low for words, of course, accent on the first syllable. But yeah, in this case low, high, and then stays high up to included sho, and then low. But yeah, that would be my guess. I think we have seen an example of such, not sure if with English words, of course with their Japanese pronunciations, or something else, but yeah, that would be my best guess. Either way, we have as shot, then the topic particle again, wa. Then we have Buba, as a reminder, it's Magmar's Japanese name. And then we have da ne, so da, the copula, and then the final sentence particle ne, right, isn't it? Also, in this case, would technically be kind of like, you know, like yo, but in this case it's more as if you were expressing, because you are expressing your thoughts or feelings. Well, yeah, in the case of yo is more emphatic, we could say emphasis, yeah, or the other meanings, but yeah, usually more often than not simply emphasis. And yeah, so as for your best shot, it's Magmar. Of course, the name would change depending on which one is our best shot. And yeah, apparently our for this playthrough, and at at least for now, it's magma. So we quickly choose this option. Because yeah, we actually have more writings here. Well, of course, at the top, Pokémon Report, so simply again Pokémon Report. At the bottom we have 3D stick で、写真を選んで、e the A button, we literally have the icon in this case, で決定 and yeah, all the terms we have seen with the options 3D stick, so the 3D stick and yeah, so the analog stick. The accent for yeah, I couldn't find it here, maybe in the dictionary, but yeah, quickly search for it again. Stick on the other way hand should be accented like in English, and yeah, it is on the T, of course. I don't remember if we found it last time for 3D. Let me quickly check again. Ah, yes, okay. Yeah, we found it on the physical dictionary, and it's accented on the D itself. Well, technically it would be 3 on its own, accented on re as expected, just like in English. D also on its own accented, but yeah, 3D combined, accented on the D. And yeah, so actually that's technically an example of two English words considered a single word, and in which the accent of the second word becomes the accent for the whole quote-unquote compound. But yeah, 3D stick, so the analog stick, then the particle de, and so with the means, shashin again, so photos, then the object particle O, written as O and pronounced as such in careful speech and also singing. Then we have again the verb erande from erabu. Here we have to make the form, so it's a verb colon verb, we have to follow the rules. It's in bu, and so it becomes de. Again, as I mentioned before, well, first and foremost, technically the continuative form be te. Then the E fell, so b. But it's worth mentioning again that voiced consonants used to be prenasalized in Japanese at the time, in classical Japanese. And so it was mb. And so yeah, actually the n stayed, and then it caused the voicing of the te also, so again, because de would have been pronounced as nde at the time, so yeah, literally what we see now, but written with the n on its own. And yeah, so erande, the te form in this case, again could be simply do the action of the verb in te and then the rest of the sentence. Also by doing the action of the verb in te while doing the action. Well, in this case I'd say simply or and or by. Maybe even better an and in this case, but we'll see when translating it. Then we have, of course, the icon of the A button. Then again de, so with. And then che te. Yeah, in this case most likely and, because technically it's a sequence, because first you choose a picture with the analog stick, and after that you then press A to decide, because get we've seen it before, it's a Chinese compound. By the way, well, we have the doubling of the consonant with the small tsu. E, usually now pronounced as long E, some still pronounce it as A. But yeah, Chinese compound, luckily unaccented as usual. And yeah, decision, determination. It's a noun, can be turned into a verb by adding suru, literally the verb to do, unaccented. In this case, technically, well, we could consider it just as a noun, or we could consider an implied suru, and so decide with. Yeah, so we can translate it. Choose a photo with a 3D stick, the analog stick, and decide with a. Yeah, so that's it. So we can simply do that. And when you choose one, we go back to this to the gallery screen, and it says Shashin o oku basho o erande ede kete, again the final part. But yeah, before it we have Shashin, of course, photo. Then we have the object particle o. Then we have the verb oku. Finally, we see it on its own. We have often seen it as an auxiliary after the form of a verb with its extended meanings. But yeah, the fundamental meaning of oku, unaccented by the way, is to put, to place. And yeah, like in this case, because we put slash place the photo after it, we have a noun, and so again the verb and what comes before it are relatively close. Now, which is basho, we have seen it before, a compound. Actually, as I think I mentioned at least once, it's a mixed compound. In this case, we have ba, which is a strictly Japanese word, plus sho, which is a Chinese pronunciation, Chinese word, Chinese pronunciation of a kanji. But yeah, basho means is unaccented and means place, location, spot, position, area. And so yeah, a place, a location, a spot where implied you will put the photo. Then we have again the object particle o, erande, choose, again to choose the form, and so again the same structure, and here are literally the same words, and so yeah, the translation becomes choose a spot in which to put, where better, in which you'll put the photo. In this case, I'd say, since we have this specific photo, even though there aren't articles in Japanese, of course. And again, decide with a. And yeah, so we could do so. We'll actually quickly do it to see if we get an additional writing. And yeah, we get it. First, kore de ii kana? And yes, so we have kore, again, one of the kosoado words, ko, close to both the speaker and the listener, so far from the speaker, close to the listener, far from both, dot interrogative. also ha usually an accented do accent on the first syllable. With re we have the demonstrative pronoun, and so this without anything else after it. Then we have the. Technically could be again with the particle which means with, or the te form of the copula, and so being this, being like this, we will say in English, as in putting the photo in that spot. Then we have the adjective e, which means good. And then last but not least, we have the particle. Technically, ka, the interrogative, the final sentence particle, interrogative one. This na, but yeah, ka na combined means I wonder, or should I, is it? And yeah, so I wonder if it's good. I wonder, is it good? I'd say literally being like this, so with the te form of the copula. And yeah, then we have the options with the A button, yos, also from E, or better, its alternative form, yoi, nowadays usually used for further conjugation. Yosh is the classical form, used as an exclamation, so yeah. Good, okay, yeah, okay in our case. With B we have instead ia, Mateo. First we have ia, an adjective which means disliking, not wanting, unwilling, reluctant, unpleasant, and so on. Also used as an exclamation, by the way, the accent on the last syllable. And yeah, used also as an exclamation, no, quit it, stop. So yeah, a no, in our case, no. Then we have mate, from matsu, to wait, also to await, but yeah, accented, by the way. It's a verbal, code verb, so we can change the U into E to make the imperative form in plain speech. And last but not least, we have again yo, the final sentence particle. I'd say more like a hey in this case. Because yeah, it can be used also yo for instead of simple emphasis, also for a request, also warning, also contempt, and so on. But yeah, so the translation is no, wait, we could say in English better, wait, okay. Yeah, we'll actually press it to see. I'm not sure we have seen this before. I don't think so. After this it says what we'll do in a moment. Game ni modoritai toki wa kiroku o erande ne. And so yeah, first we have game, of course, game from English. Usually used as an abbreviation for computer games specifically, so video games, accented, by the way, game. Then we have the particle ni, to, in this case. And then we have the verb modoritai, from modoru, to return, to go back, accented. it's a verb, code verb, so we can change the U into E to make the continuative form. In this case, it's required to add then this auxiliary adjective tie. I want to, I'd like to. So yeah, the desiderative. After that, we technically have a noun, so should be a relative clause. Noun which is toki, time, moment, occasion also, case, by extension. Accented on the last syllable, so toki. So in our case, we can actually hear it, the accenting, unlike that it's accented instead of being accented, because it would be toki wa. So the wa after it low. But yet, these expressions literally would mean the moment, the time in which you want to return to the game, and so simply can be translated in English when you want to return to the game. Then we have the topic particle wa. Then we have kiroku between quotes, and so yeah, again, as already mentioned, well, between quotes, because it's literally the option that we can choose. But yeah, so record, in this case, more recording, and so yeah, actually as in saving. Then we have the object particle o, and again erande. In this case we make the form as it's an abbreviation of erande kudasai. And so yeah, the polite imperative again as usual. Kudasai from kudasaru, a verb of giving. After that, the form making the favor of doing the action of the verb in te. The continuative form is irregular because it's one of those honorific verbs that do like that. Instead of it becomes e, most likely because it was re at once, but then the r fell, so e only remained. Implied a masse, and so actually mass, the auxiliary verb used for the polite form of verbs. Masse, the imperative of mass. And yes, so then literally would be please do the favor of choosing. Yeah, so simply please choose. So te kudasai, the polite imperative. Here without even the kudasai to make it shorter. And then after that we have the final sentence particle ne, often used to make these requests, to make an informal request, to make it softer, could also say. As if it were, please do, will you? Yeah, so simply the translation becomes, as for the moment in which you want to return to the game, as for when you want to return to the game, please choose kiroku, and so yeah, saving the option. And yeah, so good thing we checked it because it wasn't there before, and yeah, only we had to choose a picture for it to show up. Want to quickly check. Yeah, no, if you don't choose anything, then it goes away like that. I'd say yeah, we can actually stop for now the gallery. We'll be back. We'll try to be back to the title screen, and so check it again for at the start of other episodes like this time, to hopefully see all these writings. But yeah, we have seen all the ones for the Pokemon report, and yeah, we can follow what it said and choose Kiroku to go back to save, and then go back to the title screen, and then continue from the continuation, literally. Yeah, as we have seen at the start of this series. So yeah, I wanted to do so that we can finally replay one of the courses. Now that we have the flute, yeah, we replayed first and foremost the volcano, because it was the only course where we didn't strictly need the flute, either for the Pokemon signs and or new Pokemon. But yeah, now we can go back to replaying them in order, starting with the very first one, the beach. So yeah, let's go. Yeah, it's been a while since we have been here, and we've only played it once, and like, yeah, it could technically speed up, but it's better if I don't. Yeah, now that we have the apples, we can actually do this. And yeah, Pikachu, attracted by the apples, now stays on this surf. Yeah, we have to be quick. Yeah, here we have also the Pokemon sign, so yeah, we have to do that. Let's take a picture of the Lapras, hopefully, so that yeah, we can for Snorlax either hit it with a Pester Ball, but also using the new Poké Flute, and Snorlax dances in different ways depending on the song of the Poké Flute. But yeah, that after taking at least some photos of Meowth, it's not easy, but I'll try to. As you can see, there are some leaves here around here, and unfortunately I wasn't able to do it. We'll try to be back, honestly, because there's another spot for that, but not for a certain other thing related in this case, so we'll try to do that again if we are back. But yeah, more than that, I'd like to get first and foremost this, because yeah, we have actually Chansey. Also that Eevee again, but too bad the Lapras, but even though, yeah, with a Pester Ball I was able to attract the Kangaskhan. And I think I actually missed our other chance at that Pokemon, so yeah, we will have to come back. I'll try to get it on our first chance, because honestly that will also give us an additional photo. Okay, let's do the camera check. Of course, then we'll also take our usual break. So yeah, most likely we'll just do the camera check and then Professor Oak's check after the break. But yeah, let's start. Well, first the usual photos of PG. Maybe a slightly better one. This one, not my match in. This should be better, the Doduo. Of course, for Pikachu we want the Surfing Pikachu. I only took those. This one is risky. We'll go for this one. Our main objective for playing this course, the Pokémon sign. Of course, as you might have guessed also from the shape in the Pokémon report, when we checked the hints, yeah, there are some. These are some rocks that combined have the shape of a Kingler. Yeah, as usual, as long as it says Shirushi, question mark, so sign. Any photo is fine. I go for this one. Don't think we have particularly great ones for Lapras. Yeah, especially considering that we got a really good one last time, luckily. Yeah, I'll get this one, but yeah. But yeah, then we have, and I don't think I've skipped. Yeah, no, we haven't skipped anything for now. We have Snorlax finally. We tried it, taking a picture last time, but yeah, unfortunately, when it was sleeping, it didn't count, because you couldn't see all. But it makes sense in the sense that you couldn't see its face. But yeah, we have a Snorlax, and so also its Japanese name, Kabigon. Let me also check, as usual, on Bulbapedia, because honestly, on its own, this wouldn't mean nothing would come to mind. But yeah, so actually, an interview comes to the rescue, where the person that was the main inspiration for Snorlax, Koji Nishino, actually in Japanese would be Nishino Koji, used to be called Kirby, as in the Nintendo character by Game Freak staff, according to Masuda Junichi. Yeah, so Junichi Masuda, again. In Japanese, the surname comes first and then the given name, so the opposite. Masuda Junichi. Yeah, so actually that Kabi is from Kabi, as we have seen in one of our previous series, the Kirby's Adventure. Of course, shortened, so only Kabi stayed. And then we have this additional gon suffix. I'd say mostly for stylization. But yeah, so we have actually, let me check a thing quickly. Because technically I have a meaning for Gon itself, but I have some doubts about it. Yeah, no, I don't think it has anything to do with it. So yeah, simply stylization. Yeah, so we have Snorlax Japanese name, and we have now to choose its photo. We choose one of where it's dancing, because most likely I don't remember. Maybe the other one also gives you a special writing, a special description. We'll see. In case, good thing we have to replay the stage anyway, so we'll take it next time. But yeah, let's go for the dancing one. My guess would be this one would be the best one. We'll try it. Even though there are some other ones which are even funnier. But yeah, we got Snorlax. Then we have more meows. Nyasu, as a reminder in Japanese. Same, just with the onomatopoeia for meow in Japanese, nya. Unfortunately, none of them are particularly great. We'll try this one, but yeah, it's practically identical. Only even less central, so it's risky for the technique. But yeah, we'll try it. Yeah, really bad focus for Butterfree. I thought I got Magikarp there, but yeah, no. Here's Magikarp. We'll go for this one, I'd say. But yeah, then we have Chansey. Which is simply called Raki in Japanese. And so yeah, lucky from English. You might hear it also as an exclamation more often than not in Japanese. Oh, sorry. Okay. Not sure from how long we had that issue, so I'll quickly repeat it. But yeah, lucky from English, lucky, of course. By the way, Japanese doesn't have the L sound, so they use R instead. So R, but Japanese R, which is the closest one. And also notice the doubling of the consonant and the final, the longer vowel at the end. So Raki. But yeah, as I was saying, it's an exclamation in Japanese. Literally would be lucky, like in English, but yeah, more like as in nice. Or also, as it says here, score, bingo. Yeah, you will definitely see it more at some point. Accent by luckily accent on the first syllable, so just like in English. So yeah, actually quite easy name. And yeah, I think I'll go for, yeah, definitely not that one. This picture. Hopefully it counts as it having for the apple and so the Pokemon food and the usual additional writings thanks to that. Yeah, not a great Eevee, but we'll show it anyway. We have seen before the name of Kangaskhan in Japanese, Garura. And as you can see, we have shown a picture, not a great one because it was, of course, facing the other way. I'll try this one where it's angry at us. And yeah, so that's it. We don't have more pictures. I want to get to take keep at least well one of the surfing Pikachus in case we miss it. Since it doesn't matter for the score, I'll go for this one. Let's quickly check. Get this one for the album, but also the funniest one for me for Snorlax, which is this one. But yeah, with that, let's say it's okay like that. Let's also save this one for Kangaskhan. Okay, let's say we can take our usual break now, so that when we are back after around 5 minutes as usual, we'll go to the professor and do his check. Okay, so see you in around 5 minutes. And we're back. And yeah, so we can continue. Go to the professor for his check. As usual, our protagonist says Yosh as the exclamation. Yeah, we start with the PG. More or less the same. Might be, yeah, slightly bigger. Both the same technique. Maybe we can even see more of... Yeah, not the same actually for the other PG.
Yes.
Yeah, so slightly better, so get saved. Whereas the other one. This should be slightly better. Okay, no, actually smaller technically. Never mind. So yeah, we'll keep the other one. And yeah, we get Core 1 by Professor Oak also actually said because it's a special picture and we get a special some special points picture which is Safin, Pikachu, of course, yeah, well, Pikachu at the end, and yeah, before it simply Safin, and so yeah, surfing from English. We quickly check its accent. Yeah, accented on the first syllable, so as expected, just like in English. And yeah, as usual, if it is surfing Pikachu, it has the value of 1,000 points. It has, yeah, we have seen this before. So yeah, actually, way more than before than the Pikachu on Electrode. Unfortunately, fortunately, slightly smaller. Yeah, of course we got more for that, and we get more also for the pose. And it says, oh, well, as usual, the usual exclamation, just like "oh" in English. And then it says "iki iki shitoru no." First and foremost, we have this "iki iki." Technically an adverb, or at least used as such. Technically, it's actually comes from ikiru. Actually, yeah, ikiru, which is accented, so which is the verb which means to live, as in to exist. It's a verb, it's an verb, so we can drop the ru and add, and so we get the continuative form iki. Actually, and this is an exception because again, technically, accented verb, the continuative form should be accented on the last syllable. But yeah, no, this one is apparently unaccented on its own, iki. And so the corresponding noun, living, as in being alive. Also by extension, liveliness, so vitality. Other extended meanings, but yeah, let's focus on this. It's worth mentioning also that extended meaning because then, by doubling this continuative form, and so this noun, we've seen some nouns doubled before, we get this new word, and yes, so this adverb, which means in a lively way, vividly, freshly, animated, actively, energetically, and also in a lively way because of, again, of the meaning of iki on its own. By the way, this iki is accented on the first, on the second e, and so iki. Technically similar to compounds we have seen before, which tend to be either accent on the last syllable of the first word or the first syllable of the second one. But yeah, so in this case the latter. Either way, this adverb can be used on its own technically, also with the top article, the quotation particle used to make the adverb for certain words, but can also be combined with the verb suru to make a verb technically, in this case, it's acting, we could say. Literally, it's doing whatever it is doing in a lively way. So yeah, it's acting, I'd say, we could say, in a lively way, energetically. But yeah, so simply to make a verb out of this adverb. Verb suru, which in this case it becomes shitoru because of further conjugation and also contraction. First we have the te form. Unfortunately suru is completely irregular, so it becomes ste, we have to remember it. Then we would add oru, accented. On its own means to be, as in to exist. The humble form of iru, same meanings, to be as in to exist, of, on their own, of animate objects, and so actually people and animals. But when used both iru and oru, after the form of a verb, they become auxiliaries, which mean a continuing action or state. In this case, I'd say continuing action, so it is, because continuous thing will be more in translation also to have add of whatever verb we're using. But yeah, in our case, simple, to be doing, it is doing, and yeah, so it is acting, I'd say. It is energetic. We can adapt it technically into an adjective in English. But yeah, it's a verb in Japanese. And by the way, we have this contraction, shi, te, o, ru. And so te, o becomes to, shitoru. And yeah. Last but not least, we have that no as a final sentence particle. And yeah, simply means simply adds emphasis. It's a colloquial particle, final sentence particle that simply adds emphasis. And yeah, so we can continue. A lot of point. Yeah, lucky it's in the middle.
Yes, yes.
And yeah, so better. We get again yosh yosh. The doubling of the exclamation we've seen before, yosh. and so as in very well doubling, and so as we have seen, the doubling it can have the meaning literally to make the plural. It's one of the ways to make the plural of certain words. But yeah, more often than not, it actually is used to strengthen their meanings. Like in this case, not just okay, good, nice, but very well, all right. But yeah, we can continue. Yeah, no, this Lapras is horrible. Yeah, we can go even beyond the... yeah, it's Oshino indeed. Regrettable. Oshi is the meaning of Oshi, the adjective, means regrettable, disappointing, unfortunate. Yeah, it's all those. Yeah, too small. Yeah, no, we're keeping the old one, of course. Yeah, then we have Snorlax. Pretty big. The pose. Okay, actually, so this one doesn't count for something. We'll try. I think it's the opposite then, that when you throw it a pester ball at it, might give more points for the pose. We'll try it next time we replay this stage, this course. Tapping off for the technique. And yeah, we get a Subarashi. Literally same as wonderful in the English version. Yeah, we have this Meowth, almost identical, but yeah, actually literally identical. I don't remember if we have seen this. I think we have seen this a picture that had the same points. And so we technically should have already seen this writing, but I'll quickly, at the very least, translate it in case we didn't. Well, first we have the Humu, so more like in this case. Even though technically it could be an alternative form of un, but yeah, in this case more like a than a yes, because un is actually for another word for yes in Japanese. And then we have Maini, Totta, Shashinto, Onaji, Tensu, Jana. I think we have seen it also because of the Tensu, but yeah, it means it's but I don't think we have actually seen Onaji, so actually let's go slow. Because what might have happened is that we actually skipped by mistake. Yeah. Hey SKS, nice to see you here. And yeah, there was a Cabigon, there was a Snorlax indeed. But yeah, we quickly checked. We'll then check actually this writing. First we have Mae. We have seen it before, and funny enough, because it means before. Both as in before a building, so in front of a building, and so on. But also, and quite often that's the meaning, before temporarily. So before something, earlier than something. Also because of that, before as in front, also it has the meaning the front of something, the frontal part, and so on. But yeah, in this case before, as in earlier, previously. Then we have ni, the particle in this case used for a specific time, so at that specific time. In this case, of course, we don't keep the at in English because we will translate it as before, previously, and yeah, those don't require at. Then we have tota, again, taken, that a form and so past form of the verb. Before shashin, and so again relative clause. Photos taken before, previously. Then we have the particle to. In this case, it would mean it's the let's say the meaning would be with. In the sense, as we'll see soon enough, maybe more as in translation because of the following part, but yeah, technically it's the usual with. In regular usages, used with someone, for example, doing the action of the verb with someone. Can also be used to between two nouns as a and connecting the two nouns, and again exclusively for nouns, because as we have seen, the and for verbs is made in other ways, like the te form. But yeah, in this case, I'd say more like as, because after this we have the word onaji, and this is the one I wasn't, the reason why I wasn't sure we have seen it before. Onaji is a noun, technically. Also actually used as an adjective, which means same, identical, equal, alike, equivalent. By the way, unaccented, onaji. And yeah, so actually used in comparisons to say that something is the same as, and that's why I translated to as something else. Is identical to, yeah, better, same as, to stay somewhat close to the usage with that to. After that, we have tensu. We might have seen this word before, as again it has to, it's related to the points, as you might have guessed, because of the 10. Literally would be point, number, because su is the Chinese reading of the kanji, which means number. Point, amount of points by turning it around, and so yeah, actually simply marks, points, score. So yeah, again another word for score, but yeah, literally point, number, point, amount. By the way, accented on the su, and so on the su specifically, on not on the final u, because it's actually the long vowel of the su. And so is an exception because it's a Chinese compound. As we have seen, those tend to be unaccented, so be careful. But yeah, it's a noun, and so yeah, after that we have the copula ja, again the usual copula for all the characters in fiction, because again Oki is speaking and Oki is old. Last but not least, we have the final sentence particle na. As we have seen, apart from its own usages often here it's more like ne or yo. I'd say like more like ne in this case. Isn't it right? Or you know again, but yeah, in the sense of ne more than yo. Yes, the translation becomes it's the same amount, it's the amount of points, literally, so the score, same as the picture, the photo, taken before, taken previously. And yeah, we might have skipped that, but I think we have seen this before instead. I might have skipped that, and then we actually got to see this writing. As a reminder, quickly, we have, if in case we actually didn't, also, but I think we did, which picture, which photo, between the two, we have this dochi, which should be actually, I don't remember the accent because we have seen, yeah, no, okay, for dochi is actually accent on the first syllable. I think we have seen it for kochi or sochi or achi, with the other koso a, which was actually, I quickly check, accented on the final syllable, so an exception compared to the usual accent of, yeah, for example, kochi accent on the last syllable, while usually they're unaccented. But yeah, luckily for dochi, it's still accent on the first syllable. It's an abbreviation of dochira, which, literally which way, which direction, usually used also for which one of two alternatives. It's worth specifying again that it's between two alternatives, because otherwise we would use dore instead, which usually of three or more. But yeah, so which photo picture, we have two, so each of the two will implied you set aside, leave, that literally would be no kosu, in the report, and then of course at the end nja, the usual noda, it is that, and yeah, with the A button you set aside the picture. Yeah, I think we have seen this before, but if we haven't, I at least translated it now. We'll actually keep the older one then. We can continue. Yeah, this one has no chance that that Butterfree you can barely see. So unfortunately we still don't have a decent picture of Butterfree. I try to get one next time. Considering we won't have all the distractions of Pikachu, surfing Pikachu, the sign. This... okay. I think the writing is the same. The translation it's I kanji ni hanetoru na, and so yeah, it's leaping with we could adapt it in English. A good feeling. Yeah, so. But yeah, I think we got to see it also before. If we haven't, I'll mention quickly again, simply, well, the other parts we have definitely seen before in other parts, so in other sentences. The only one which we might not have seen, or at least we haven't seen as often, is kanji, which comes from kanjiru, so actually a verb. One thing I haven't mentioned before for sure is that jiru is actually a suffix we'll find in some verbs. And it's actually still from suru, so again to do, to convert a Chinese word into a verb, a Chinese noun into a verb, because kan on its own is the Chinese, it's the kanji, which means emotion, feeling, sensation. And by the way, only has its Chinese reading, doesn't have a Japanese one. But yeah, by adding this jiru, we get kanjiru, an unaccented verb, which means to feel, to sense, to experience. And so also by extension, to be moved by, to be touched by, impressed by. But yeah, so it's a ru verb, it's a verb, so we can drop the ru to make the continuative form, and so the corresponding noun. So kanji, unaccented. Unfortunately, just like kanji, the Chinese compound, which means Chinese character, so we can distinguish it with the accent. But yeah, this kanji means feeling, sense, impression. Feeling is the fundamental translation. But yeah, so at the very least, we've seen that. So we can continue. And too bad that it actually doesn't count barely if that's the case as in the middle. And so yeah, what could have been a better photo isn't because of that. Yeah, we keep the other one. Yeah, after that we get chancy, lucky, almost perfect size, literal bigness again. The pose, the usual. I think it's practically identical to previous ones. But yeah, it's the usual. Oh, it looks happy. Again, we have this auxiliary. So after an adjective, when we drop the e, there are a couple of exceptions that add also a sa in between, but most simply drop the e and we attach this so, and it becomes then an adjective. After for verbs, after the continuative form, and yeah, so it looks like it seems, it appears based usually on its appearance, on what we see. Worth mentioning because there's another so used with other forms of the adjective and the verb, which is used for hearsay, so it seems, but because someone else told us. Yeah, at least we mentioned that again. But yeah, it looks happy, from ureshi in our case. Yes, I think we've seen if not this very sentence, because we have seen that sometimes these are repeated at a very similar one, so we can proceed after that, repeating that so, the grammar about so. And yeah, we get a wonderful, luckily enough. Subarashi in English. Div is horrible. It's worth mentioning that yeah, we get this, which we didn't get before. Again, almost identical or almost identical to other writings we have seen. So yeah, in this case it says oh, then we have that na at the end, so technically wow in this case. It's rejoicing here with the verb yorokobu instead of the adjective ureshi, happy. And then again doru, and so te form, teoru, contracted. Yeah, so we actually got more points because of that. So it's actually better somehow. Too bad. Well, good for the points, but not because of how it looks. But yeah, we have then our Kangaskhan. Yeah, this one we haven't seen before. Other than it's a new pose, but also it's something that not seen in previous Pokemon, I think. It says Okotteru no ga tottemo iizo. First and foremost, we have the verb okoru, which means to get angry, to get mad, to lose one's temper. Usually in the passive, also to scold, and so actually be scolded. So yeah, simply that someone actually got angry at us. As we see, I think it says usually in the passive, also in the sense that as we'll see, there's something called a passive of we could say, not sure what the exact nomenclature in English is, but passive of damage would be what I've heard before. I think in Italian, or yeah, in Italian, if it isn't exactly the one in English. But yeah, it's we actually use the passive form also when someone else does an action and so technically the verb should be active, but that action damages us, can simply also annoys us, and so yeah, we actually use the passive in that case, and I'm pretty sure that the person is then takes the ni particle, so the usual agent particle in for the passive form. So yeah, it might be in that sense that it becomes to scold, usually in the passive. But yeah, let's focus for it was worth introducing that concept, but we'll see it when it happens. Okoru, by the way, accented, I think, yes, accented, means to get angry. It's a verb, codon verb, so we have to follow the rules. It's in rules, so it becomes double consonant te to make the form. And then we have ru after it. And so yeah, it's actually te iru, a contraction, teru becomes, we drop the e, usual continuing action or state. In this case, continuing action, technically. It is angry, we have to adapt it in English, but yeah, as in, well, technical continuing state better, but yeah, either way, yeah, it is angry, and we use it, that teiru form because of that. Then we have no, the nominalizer for verbs, can also be translated as the fact, similar to koto, thing as in matter, again as a reminder, koto accent on the last syllable, by the way. Yeah, we nominalize the verb to then add the ga, the subject particle, the fact, and so the fact of it implied being angry, and then it says totemo, the adverb totemo, very, several similar meanings, but yeah, the fundamental one is very, with an advocative verb, the opposite, so not at all, but yeah, usually more often than not found in the affirmative, and so very. Here even with this doubling of the consonant, and so it's more emphatic, but the meaning is the same. And then we have E again, so it is very good. And last but not least, we have the so, final sentence particle, matter more language, adds force, I'd say also simply in the sense of emphasis. But yeah, so literally it's the fact that it is angry is very good. And yeah, so we got all those points, perfect points for this pose. Yeah, of course it's in the middle of the picture.
Yes.
Yes, actually perfect. Perfect score. And yeah, we get again the writing for the Pokemon sign. And yeah, it's an automatic Subarashi, and so wonderful. We have this. Yeah, we haven't seen this before because last time when we got our first Pokemon sign, we then got a Jitsuwa now, of course, because we unlocked the Pokefruit. So we have these to check. Pokemon no Shirushi ga Zenbu Soroeba Himitsu no Kousu e Ikeru you ni naru hazu ja. First and foremost, we have, as usual, our Pokemon, then the possessive particle no, Shirushi, mark, sign. Shirushi, by the way, unaccented, and so yeah, Pokemon no Shirushi, Pokemon sign, Pokemon signs in this case, of course, plural. Not explicited in Japanese, but yeah, because of the context. The subject particle ga. Then we have Zenbu. By the way, as a reminder, the N becomes M because of the following bu, and so bilabial consonant. Zenbu should be accent on the first syllable despite being Chinese compound entities. We've seen it before, but yeah, be careful. Technically a noun, but more often than not used as an adverb. Well, actually used also as a noun. But yeah, the meaning is all, entire, whole, all together. Actually used also with the no, the possessive particle no, kind of like an adjective, even though technically it would be a noun plus a possessive particle in structure. Then we have the verb soroeba, from the sorou, accented. I'm not sure if we have seen sorou, or which is the intransitive form of the verb, or soroeru, the transitive one. So again, intransitive in u, the transitive in eru. We have seen one of these before in a previous series, I think, not this one. But yeah, sorrow means to be complete, to be all present, to make a full set, to be satisfied of conditions, also to be equal, to be uniform, to be even, to match, to agree. But yeah, actually, and this is one of its most common meanings, or actually, to gather, to assemble, to be collected. I'd say better to be collected in this case, because as we have seen, there are other verbs which have the meaning to gather. The most common one we have seen, and I think we have seen before, not sure if in this series or not. Atsumaru should be an accent. No, actually accented. So Atsumaru or Atsumeru, intransitive and transitive respectively. Again, the intransitive most likely a classical passive form. Yeah, that one is to gather, more like together. But yeah, in this case I'd say more to be collected, as it would make sense also for the to make a full set, to be complete, the other meanings of this this verb. But yeah, other way, in our case, is clearly to gather. It's a U verb, codant verb, so we can change the U into E to then add ba in this case, and so actually make one of the forms of the conditional. This is the closest one, conditional or also temporal, so literally if, when, just like in English. Yeah, this is the closest one to the first conditional in English. If you collect, or better in this case, as we have said, the intransitive, and also considering that the Pokemon signs are the subject, if the Pokemon signs are all collected, when, also considering that we'll actually do it when all the Pokemon signs are all collected. Then we have Himitsu. We've seen it before. I've also mentioned it in previous series. Not sure this one. Himitsu means secret. Should be an accent. Yes, it is. Makes sense. It's a Chinese compound. As a reminder, when I usually mention these Chinese compounds, I mean the most common ones, and so simply two kanji. There are actual compounds that follow the usual rules for compounds of more than two kanji, also of Chinese origin. But yeah, when I usually mention these Chinese compounds, they are the two kanji ones. And so yeah, as it can also be seen, two syllables technically. Himitsu. mitsu technically because it would be mit in Chinese at the time, and then of course Japanese had to add u because they don't have t on its own. But yeah, himitsu, so secret. Mystery by extension. Technically a noun, can also be used according to a dictionary as an adjective, but also again one of those noun plus no possessive particle combination, like in this case, actually used like an adjective in practice, as we, like in this case we have himitsu no, and then after that a noun, kosu, course, as usual, and so secret, course. Then we have the particle e written as he, to as in towards, a direction. Then we have the verb ikeru, from iku, to go. It's a verb codant verb, and so we can change the u into e and add the ru to make the potential form can go. And then we have this yo, the usual noun which we have seen, form, style, design, by extension also like, similar to these after nouns, way to method of doing or appearing, looking after verbs. In this case actually required because it's a peculiar structure. This yoni naru. Then we have the particle ni, which would mean to. And then last but not least we have naru, which is a verb, which means to become. And so literally would mean become, as to. We have seen this, or better, become, so that. We have seen yoni also with the verb suru. In that case, of course, make it so that, because to do, suru means to do, so make, in that case, make it so that. In this case, it becomes so that, literally. And so it gets these translations also, as mentioned here in the dictionary, to reach the point where, to come to be that, to start to begin to. But yeah, so to reach the point where, to come to be that, but the better translations. But yeah, that's because literally it would become so that, and yeah, that's why. With also in this example on the dictionary, with a potential form of the verb before it, and yeah, like in our case. After that, we have hazu. We've seen it before, not sure if in this series. Technically a noun, which means knock of a bow or of an arrow. Unaccented, by the way, hazu. More often than not, actually used as an auxiliary, which means should be, bound to be, expected to be, must be, bound to be, the closest translation, I'd say. closest to the original meaning of knock, of a bow or arrow. But yeah, usually used, even though, again, it technically still is a noun, because it comes, as you might have noticed, after the dictionary form, final form of a verb, like in our case, naru. And so yeah, technically should be, again, relative close, following noun. But yeah, usually used as this auxiliary should be bound to be, expected to be, must be. And then last but not least, we have the copula. And yeah, again, because technically it's a noun. But yeah, so we can finally translate it. And yeah, it says again, if all the Pokemon signs are all collected, or better, when, in our case, when the Pokemon signs are all collected, you, implied, should become able to do. We can also translate it in that sense that Ikeru Yoni Naru, and again it stays closer to the Japanese structure. Be able to go to the secret course. And yeah, we can continue. And yeah, we don't have much time, so I'd say we can actually go back, save the game here, end it, but because we'll actually go back and continue slightly the gallery, because honestly, we could have technically played another course, but then, of course, we wouldn't have the time to do the camera check and or Professor Ox check. So yeah, we'll actually check more of these. So let's see now the Pokemon Arubamu option, of course, the Pokemon album option. And it says Arubamu no naka kara erabu. So actually almost identical to the structure for the previous one, Pokemon Repoto Kara Erabu. The only difference here is, of course, first and foremost, Arubamu. By the way, unaccented, as a reminder, it's one of those exceptions for English words in Japanese. Then we have the possessive particle no. Then we have naka, accent on the first syllable. Literally middle, interior. And so literally from the middle, from the interior of the album. So yeah, from the album, from inside the album. This structure, noun plus no, plus the possessive particle naka, often has the meaning in, as in inside, that something. In our case, from inside the album. And then, of course, again, erabu, choose, and with the question mark. So, will you, maybe better with a will in English, again, because the Japanese verbs in the present can be used also with a future meaning. Will you choose from inside the album? Then we have Nokoshite aru shashin wa zenbu de 13枚だよ。First and foremost, we have nokoste, again from nokosu, again the meaning which we have already seen, to leave, in this case as in to set aside, to save, to reserve. It's a verb, content verb, so to make that a form we have to change the, we have to follow the rules. It's in su, so it's literally simply the continuative form plus te, nokoste. And then we add aru. Aru, which is another verb which means to be, as in to exist, for inanimate objects in this case, on its own, but after the te form of a verb, we get this peculiar form, te aru, which means that someone has done the action of the verb and has left it in that state. Yeah, as it says also here in the dictionary, after that form of a transitive verb, yeah, that's also one of the peculiarities of this te form, te aru form. But yeah, the meaning is to exist in a completed state, to be something unchanged in its current state. And so yeah, usually it's implied that someone did that and left it that way. But yeah, literally the meaning means that something is in a completed state or unchanged in its current state. And yeah, after that we have a noun, so again, relative clause, in this case simply just a verb in attributive position. Noun which is as usual shashin, photo, photos, in this case plural. Then the topic particle wa. Then we have again zenbu, so all. In this case with the particle de. De used, as you have seen, in this case, how can I say it? Technically the means with all, or even better the form of the copula being all. But yeah, in practice it's simply used after certain words like zenbu. We've also seen it before with hitori or futari. But hitori for sure. On one's own. Hitori, as a reminder, is the numeral plus counter combination for one person. An exception because it uses ri instead of the usual nin, which is the one used usually for as the counter for persons. Ri is of strictly Japanese origin and so uses strictly Japanese numerals, so hito used for one person, hitori, and also two people, two persons, futari, hito, hitori accent on the to, futari should be accent on the last syllable instead. But yeah, I mentioned them because there are also cases in which we use this de after them to say on one's own, as to people, and yes, so maybe more like a usage of the form of the copula, but yeah, either way, that's in practice how you use it. And yeah, then we have of course our usual number plus counter combination for the photos. So do some my in this case. Technically, by the way, sa on its own, then becomes actually m in this case because of the following ma. Some my. Being well, there's also the do, of course, the 10. 10 plus 3, 13. But yeah, the accent should be on the sa before the mai. So in this case, do some mai. And then the copula da, and then the final sentence particle yo. And so yeah, the translation is as for the pictures saved, set aside, better saved in this case, to show that they are in the state of being saved. And yeah, that's the usage of this tearu, which we have seen to exist in a computer state or unchanged in its current state. But yeah, as for the saved photos, pictures, in total, on the whole, there are 13. Quickly open it. Yeah, again, we get the same writing as for the Pokemon report. With the 3D stick, we can choose it and decide it with the A button. Choose one. And yeah, same writing also here. Yeah, same writings as before. And again, we get the Kiroku after that. Yeah, I'd say we can stop here. So next time we should be able to check. Actually, well, we'll quickly check this since it's short. We'll keep the last option since it has more for next time at the start of the next episode, so we can finally finish the gallery. But yeah, here it says simply 写真の並び方を好きなように変えてみよう。Well, of course, first and foremost, 写真, the photos, pictures, then the possessive particle no. Then we have 並び方. I think we have seen it before for other pictures in this game. Literally would be way of lining up, as in arranging, way of arranging, because narabu means literally accented is the verb, actually unaccented, narabu, to line up, to stand in a line. But yeah, in this case, being arranged, because they're lined up, but yeah, in this shape. Then it's a verb, because a verb we can change the U into it to make the continuative form. In this case, it's required to add kata, which means way, also direction. But yeah, in this case, way as in way of doing doing an action, manner of doing that action. So yeah, way of lining up. Then we have the object particle o. Then we have suki, an adjective which means liking, preferred, favorite, accent on the ki. On the final syllable. By the way, the U is barely heard if at all. Ski. here we can see it with the na, because after that we have yo, ni. And yeah, in this case, yo, ni again, so that, or better in this case, yo prefer, actually it's simply yo, as in form style, so preferred form style, then the ni particle as in tu, into, because then we have the verb kaete from kairu, unaccented, this one, the usual one, which means to change, depending on the kanji. It has all the specification as in to replace, to exchange. Yeah, this one I'd say most likely simply, well, most likely just as actually replace. Because I didn't mention it actually, the option, the name of the option is irekae. We have seen it before from ireru, the verb to put in, and accented on its own. Ru verb, each time verb, so we can drop the ru to make the continuative form to attach the second verb, which is another kairu. This one specifically for sure, the one to replace, to change as in to replace. Irekaeru accented, so be careful. To replace in general, literally as in to put in and replace, because yeah, that's what you technically do. And yeah, so we get then kaeru is also a ru verb, it's a verb, you can drop the ru to make the continuative form. And so in this case, for irekae, the corresponding noun. And yes, so irekae means replacement, substitution, change. And yeah, that's why we have this kaete in the description we were checking. Yeah, we have Fushigida ne and Pikachu here in the photos. We'll eventually change them all. Yeah, Bulbasaur and Pikachu, of course, respectively. But yeah, kaete, again, ru verb is a verb, so you can drop the ru and that te to make the form. To then add the verb mio, so from miru, to see, to look at, to watch. After the form, literally do the action of the verb and look at the result. And so yeah, try doing the action of the verb in te. And so yeah, try changing, trying replacing. Miru is a ru verb, it's a verb, so we can drop the ru and add yo u, so long yo. And so the evolutional form of the verb, its most common meaning, let's. And yeah, so here it says simply let's try to change in this case better in ni actually as for the adverb, in your preferred way, the lining up of the photos. And yeah, so we can literally change the order, simply change the order, and we don't get additional writings. And yeah, that's why we checked also that. Next time we'll check the final option, miru, as I've seen that there are more writings there. We'll save. And yeah, with that, quickly also save here just to be completely sure. Perfect. And yeah, we can close. And yeah, so today we finally checked more of the gallery. Unexpectedly also at the end, other than at the start of the episode. But apart from that, we finally replayed the first course. We got the Pokémon sign, some new Pokémons, not all, so we'll be back eventually. we went through the camera check, Professor Ox check, and yeah, so next time, which should be on Wednesday, unless plans change, we'll first and foremost finish the gallery, so we won't have to worry about that anymore. So we can pause also in the middle by save stating of a stage, of course, after the stage, before the camera check, and so on, if needed. Yeah, we'll get rid of that. But yeah, we'll for sure replay more courses, get more Pokemon signs, and yeah, because our current objective to advance the story of the game is finding all the Pokemon signs. So yeah, we'll do that. Okay. See you next time.